I've editorialized on this. There is a crisis of confidence at the White House. An official who has remained anonymous says he's appalled by Biden's withdrawal from Afghanistan, leaving Americans behind. Ronna McDaniel, RNC chair, is with us now. OK, there is this crisis of confidence. How do you make the president accountable, Ronna?
Well, I think every American right now watching the president of the United States raise a white flag of surrender above the White House and leave Americans behind are saying he should resign. I mean, we just saw a poll to that effect with the majority of Americans saying it's time for him to resign. I mean, we have one saying in the United States, and our military personnel say, leave no man behind. Well, Joe Biden didn't just leave men behind. He left women, students, journalists. He left men on the battlefield, all because of his poor decision-making at every step of this crisis. And I think it's time for him to go.
Yeah, OK, but then you would have President Harris. And I'm not joking. I mean, every time I talk about the president resigning or being impeached or being replaced, people say to me, do you mean President Harris? They're not keen on that. So do you really want a resignation of the president, Ronna?
Well, of course I don't want President Harris, but I do think when the president of the United States kowtows to the Taliban and leaves Americans behind willingly, knowingly, and puts together the disaster of a withdrawal that he just did that left so much military equipment in the hands of terrorists, it's concerning. So as much as I don't want Harris, I also think we need to hold Biden accountable. He gets a free pass a lot. People say, oh, he's not all there. He's not accountable. He's a nice old man. He is accountable. This lays at Joe Biden's feet. He is the president of the United States, and he just surrendered. Our enemies are emboldened. Our allies are disillusioned. This is a president who has failed at every level.
But if you want to hold him accountable to voters, you've got to wait until 2022. But does the Afghan disaster have legs? Will it still count? Will it still be the political issue 14 months from now?
Well, I think 14 months is so long away. What I do know is this is baked in. I think every American will look at this episode of Joe Biden's presidency and say he failed. And so this will be part of his record as we go into 2022. And those Democrats that defended him, that stood on TV and said, oh, this was an extraordinary mission and a success. We all know this is a failure. Do not lie to us. The lack of remorse that he has shown, the lack of contrition to the families who are suffering. There's so much to unpack with this episode, and we don't know what's going to happen going forward. We still have American people trapped in Afghanistan.
Yep.
What does the future hold for them?
Yep. And this White House is under siege as we speak. Ronna, thank you very much for being with us. I'm sure we'll see you again real soon. Thank you.
Thanks, Stuart.